Hi. Industries worldwide are suffering financially due to the pandemic crisis of COVID-19. Although countries funnel most of their GDP and saving toward their healthcare systems, many of these financial resources are drained in the internal processes as non-value-added activities. These burdens are less in the institution that embedded total quality management strategy into their daily core processes toward institutional excellence. Operational excellence means working smarter, simpler, and faster. We will explore two different operational improvement methodologies, Lean and Six Sigma, that would help leaders of any institution in various industries to fulfill customer satisfaction and reduce the overall cost. Before you proceed with the presentation, please answer the polling question posted on the next page or in the description below. Your answer will be very helpful to improve materials to match the audience's needs.
This is an introductory learning session about Lean Six Sigma. In this session, I will try to touch base on the history of quality gurus and their philosophy about the quality. We will try to understand what is Lean and Six Sigma, who are the key players within Lean Six Sigma, and when to apply Lean Six Sigma. In the late 18th century, early 19th, Henry Ford, the founder of the known company Ford, was thinking about how to increase the automobile production to meet the high demand request from the customers. So, he assigned the frontline staff to carry out 1 to 2 activities at the production line process. The new change in the process had helped his company to increase the number of produced automobiles back then, which had been known as Fordism. What he did actually, he standardized the process in the production line. Dr. Armand Feigenbaum, he's a PhD holder in economics from MIT, who held several senior posts in the business industry. He believed that at least 40% of any factory's internal processes are waste. He called it back then a hidden plant, which has been proved nowadays in different publications in different business industries. Dr. Feigenbaum has his quality philosophy published in his book called Total Quality Control. And simply, he defined the TQC as an effective system for integrating the quality development, quality maintenance, and quality improvement efforts of the various groups in an organization to meet the maximum customer satisfaction. Flip Crosby, he's an American actor and singer, has a different quality philosophy which he abbreviated into 2 simple words: zero defect. He came with the acronym DERFT, doing it right the first time. Shijo Shingo created the following principles that are considered one of the building blocks of the Lean house. Pokayoki, it is a Japanese term that means mistake proofing. It is any mechanism in the Lean manufacturing process that helps an equipment operator to avoid mistakes. It is a proactive principle where you set certain specifications to prevent or catch error from happening. Just in time. It's explanatory by itself. Give me what I want at the time I want it. Smith, single minutes exchange of time. It is a changeover techniques between machines, product A with product B, or teams that should be accomplished within a single digits, less than 9 minutes. As low as it goes, that would be much better. Taishi Ono, he is a Japanese industrial engineer and a businessman. He is considered the father of the Toyota production system, and he's the guy who created the theory of 7 types of waste that could be identified at any process. Walter Shewhart, he is an American physicist, engineer, and statistician. Dr. Shewhart is the father of the statistical quality control and the developer of the Sheward cycle, which is known Plan, Do, Check, Act. In the early 80s, Bill Smith was serving as a vice president and senior of the quality assurance manager at Motorola. Motorola senior leaders were not happy about the quality of the company. Bill, as a co-founder, met an ambitious PhD holder engineer, Michael Harry, the father of Six Sigma. Then, they established a culture for Six Sigma organization. With a strong will from the leadership toward change and extreme passion engineers refusing the status quo, that reached to the Acme stage in 1986, when Motorola navigated its way toward excellence in a highly competitive industry. 2 years later, Motorola ripened that effort and awarded by Malcolm Baldrige Award in 1988. So what is lean? There are several definitions of lean out there. However, all definitions agreed that lean main focus is eliminating waste through removing non-value added activities. These are the definition of lean from lean.org and Manufactured Extension Partnership Lean Network. In simple words, lean means creating more value for customers with fewer resources. This is a great example that had happened in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in 2019. In October 2019, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia had a considerable achievement in the World Trade Report in terms of the process and time to start a business. In 2017, the World Trade ranked KSA at the level 141, while in 2019 it ranked at 38, and this would consider 103 steps or level improvement. The baseline readings as follow. In 2017, the male required to go through 10 steps and it took him 17 days in order to start a business, while the female need to go 12 steps and it took her like 19 days to start a business. In 2019, the steps for the male reduced to 3 steps, while for the female reduced to 4 steps. And these represent 70% and 67% decrease on steps respectively. Having in your mind different governmental institutions that they had different legal requirements to meet. Types of waste. The muda is a Japanese word that means waste. And there are several acronyms. I will be using the TIM Woods as an acronym. And TIM stands for Transportation, Inventory, Motion. Woods stand for Waiting, Overprocessing, Overproduction, Defects, and Skill. And most leader, a great leader, they should look at this type of waste nowadays in their industry or their organization. Skill, that means like skilled staff are not placed in the right post in the process or the right location in order to achieve the strategical goal of that institution. There is another acronym, it's called downtime, and it stands for defects, overproduction, waiting, non-utilized talent, and time stand for transportation, inventory, motion, extra processing. There are 3 domains where the waste can be segregated to: people, quantity, quality, and you can see it, read it through the slide. So what is Kaizen event? Kai means to break apart or to change. Zen means to study or to improve. These are defined. The Kaizen is defined as an intensive burst of process improvement. Rogers Adoption Innovation Curve. Likewise, any change or new product, Lean Six Sigma as a management philosophy definitely would go through the Rogers Adoption Curve or Production Adoption Curve, either at the leader level or frontline staff. The curve simply states that for any population, there are 2.5% innovators who would bring new things to their communities. 13.5% of the population is called early adopters, whom they procure the innovative idea or product regardless of the defects or poor performance that might have. In changing management, smart leaders would focus on early adopters and early majority. These would represent more than 47% success rate, which would care of the 34% late majority to convince them to adopt change or a product. Sometimes we need a special strategy to deal with the 16% laggards lately. However, because they are vocalic people, those might be involved and listened to in the early stage before initiating changes. Make sure some of them, instead of being laggards, would be among the early majority if they listen to and have their input into consideration. By the way, the Rogers adoption curve is applicable for any of us toward a certain products. If you look around and dig deep in your memory a little bit, you would find that you went through like these stages somehow against certain products. I will give you an example. In 2007, I was in the USA pursuing my graduate study when the iPhone had been released a few months before. Back then, I was considered a laggard toward the smartphone, iPhone as a product. Something new, which is keyless and has few applications. However, being a laggard back then had a different reason that I considered. First, price was high, and the second, I had to sign a 2-year contract with a cell phone operator, and if happened I changed the operator, the new SIM won't work. Therefore, I decided to continue with my N95 Nokia cell phone and keep the money for myself and family. Lean principles. The House of Lean. There are 17 building blocks principles of the House of Lean. The foundation of that house are the team and change management. Then it goes to the other building blocks: value stream mapping, 6S, visual, standard work, layout, point of use storage, batch size reduction, quick changeover, automation or Jidoka, self-inspection, Pokayoke, total product maintenance, just-in-time, cellular flow, pull system and Kanban, and all these building blocks are capsulated with one approach, which is called continuous improvement. Example of lean principles: the 6S stand for sort, set in order, shine, standardize, sustain, then all that principle or steps capsulated with a safety. The best example of 6S is the house tools case. At the hospital, the 6S could be used in the storage area in the ward, as you see in the right pictures. Kanban and pull system. The best example of the Kanban and pull system is the dairy products at the grocery stores. The newest product will be placed at the last, and when the customer grabbed one, the one behind will come forward, and so on. It's a method of controlling and balancing the flow of resources. It's very helpful in eliminating waste of handling, storage, rework, minimize work in process. In a simple word, Determine what to produce, when to produce it, and how much to produce it, which is between parentheses, just-in-time principle. Visual management. This is one of the parking building in Riyadh at one of the hospitals where the drivers would have a self-guiding by the lights, where the green lights indicate that the parking lot is available, while the red lights indicate that the parking lot is occupied. You cannot imagine at which extent this has removed the huge burden on the drivers. Another example is the flooring. You see the lines and the coloring used. These are used to identify the spots for certain equipment, such as these two cards. Vinyl flooring materials are better to manage. Thus, if the institution has enough budget, especially healthcare ones, it's highly recommended to use the vinyl flooring materials for easy maintenance and changing as per certainly required processes. Pokayoke. Pokayoke is a Japanese word for error-proofing a process to eliminate a chance for a mistake. This is an example at one of the restaurants that I visited in Riyadh. Sometimes people would wipe their hands with the towel papers, and these towel papers might fall somehow in the hand washing, which might clog the water drainage. Therefore, the restaurant's management placed a beautiful plastic design that allows water to run but not allowing big objects to pass through. This has improved daily and long-term operation and made the housekeeper happier. Value stream mapping. This project was carried out at one of the hospitals that I worked for, where the department's leader decided to provide certain treatment services for oncology patients as outpatient visits. Before holding the value stream mapping activity, there were periodic meetings discuss all these steps 1 hour each. The performance of these meetings was prolonged, and some vital members for different reasons might miss important meetings. Thus, after discussing the value stream mapping with the project's leader, explained the concept behind it, and received his approval, the team was able to map all required activities for the whole project in less than 5 hours. I was honored to facilitate that activity, which helped for better utilization for services in terms of bid management, with projected cost reduction by 1.5 million Saudi riyals, around 400,000 US dollars. Now, we will see a short clip where the Lean principle has applied in, and I want you to think which Lean principle have been used.
This restaurant belongs to a major conveyor belt sushi chain with more than 300 shops around Japan. The conveyor belt here is laid out in an E shape, allowing more diners to be served than with a conventional loop arrangement. This space-maximizing layout is now standard at chain sushi shops. The restaurant can serve 196 customers with a kitchen staff of no more than 15. There are actually no chefs. Everything is automated, providing high quality at a low price. The conveyor mechanism itself is also cutting edge. The kitchen receives a personal order from a diner. It's delivered along a high-speed lane straight to the table. Here, the new direct delivery lane is accommodated in the space above the regular conveyor belt. When you are done with your dishes, you put them into this slot. It feeds a lane that runs under the regular conveyor belt. and carries the plates from the table straight into the dishwashing station. A huge dishwashing machine like this can wash 1,800 plates an hour, about 20,000 each day. Washed plates are sent to the food preparation area on the kitchen's own conveyor belt system. Multiple specialized conveyor belts work in efficient unison. This same restaurant can serve up to 20,000 plates of sushi a day. To reduce uneaten sushi to the absolute minimum, they collect and analyze huge amounts of data with computers. When anyone enters the restaurant, the time and number in the party are recorded. What those customers ate and when they ate it is automatically logged. These plastic containers keep sushi fresh when they're on the conveyor belt, and the lids are fitted with IC chips that track when a plate is taken. Ordering of items not on the conveyor belt is done through a touch screen. This data is also logged. What sushi should go onto the belt at what time is determined not just by how things are going in the shop at that moment, but also by referring to a database of 80 million customers over the past 12 months, as well as local factors unique to each restaurant. The restaurants also have cameras linked to headquarters, so they can be supervised remotely. Here is the chain's HQ for the Kanto region. The giant monitor shows feeds from 122 locations in eastern Japan. The employees here look out for things that the busy shop staff might have overlooked.
Hello. It seems there are some orders waiting. Please reassign staff from washing duty to get those orders taken care of. Okay, thank you.
Computer forecasting and off-site support. These two elements combine to eliminate waste and offer customers high-quality service. This conveyor belt sushi shop uses another piece of high-tech gear. The sushi comes on these ordinary-looking plates, but actually each one is fitted with an IC chip. When a handheld device is passed over the plates, it automatically works out the total price. This system can calculate the bill in a flash with perfect accuracy. Or how about this stylish sushi restaurant? It has a seamless conveyor that runs in sinuous curves. This is state-of-the-art stuff. The underside of each plate has magnets that interact with magnets under the conveyor. This is how the plates are pulled along. The technology allows the conveyor to curve anywhere, suiting the decor of the restaurant. It's also silent and vibration-free. And because there are no seams, it's hygienic and easy to clean. Conveyor belt sushi is a made-in-Japan dining concept that fuses food and technology. It continues to evolve.
Pricing model. The old pricing model is to count the cost, then add the profit that you are looking for to set your price. But the new one is to subtract the cost from the price to get your profit value. Here are 3 examples of how the pricing works. In the first example, the profit at a fixed value or percent. Then if the cost increased, you need to increase your price to maintain the desired profit. In the second example, the cost at a fixed value. Then if the price goes down, then your profit would go down as well to maintain your desired cost. The new pricing model, the lean principles play in the cost factor to bring it down as much as possible. Thus, your price operation cost in the long run would go down and you will increase your profit margin. According to the published research, many organizations waste 50 to 70% of available resources through improper management of material, time, information, idle equipment, and inventory. And these are the readings where the lean has contributed heavily in the internal processes improvement in different industries. That made a happier stakeholders in different level of the organization. In the summary, always remember 10 moods or downtime whenever you involve in improvement projects. Lean principles are interrelated with each others. Lean about minimal or nonverbal communication. Lean objectives increase efficiency, effectiveness, and quality processes, lower operation cost, improve customer satisfaction and morale, free up employees to work on other opportunities. What is Six Sigma? Once again, there are many definitions out there, but the best one that is brief and to the point is from the American Society of Quality. They define Six Sigma as a method that provides organizations tools to improve the capability of their business processes. Managers in the different industries are willing to see the performance of the internal processes 95% and above. And if they achieved 99.7%, they will be made a model for their peers. And this is what we see in the normal distribution curve, where the data are located within the plus and minus 3 standard deviation. Now my question for you, either yes or no, and if happened, you answer the early questionnaires before you proceed with the education session. Six Sigma means that your process data points are within the plus and minus 3 standard deviation, and naming of the Six Sigma is extracted from the range value between the plus and minus 3. Is it true or false? Well, the answer is no. The Six Sigma philosophy is narrowing the points of data between the plus and minus 1, as you see in the right figure. And this data area is segmented into plus or minus 6. This is what we mean in Six Sigma reduce variation, where 99.9997% of data are as close as possible to the mean. So what does the Six Sigma level means at the competitive level in your industry? As we see here in the slide, when your Sigma level is 5 or 6, you will be classified as a world-class institution. An example, at the Six Sigma level, the defect rate of product per million or process per million would be 3.4, while the percentage yield is 99.9997%. This means the percent cost of poor quality less than 10. But if your institution is operating at the level of the average industry, that means the Sigma level between 3 and 4. And an example, at the 4 Sigma level, the defect rate of product per million or process per million would be 6,210, while the percentage yield is 99.38%. This means the percent cost of poor quality between 15 to 20%. Finally, if your Sigma level is below 2, your institution is classified as non-competitive, and one day you might lock the door and leave the business. Here are 2 examples on how the chosen indicator could place you either a frontier among your competitors and a distinct mindset between traditional management and operational excellence management. between brackets, Lean Six Sigma culture institutions. In the meal order, to imagine that you have 3 delivery orders as follow: 10, 20, and 60 minutes. The average delivery time is within the preset goal, which is 30 minutes as per the traditional manager mindset. But the question, do you think the customer who received the 3rd order was happy about the time it took to deliver? Definitely no. In the stat order, where like the stat is a term used in healthcare industry and usually used for life-threatening cases, where the result should be reported in less than or equal 15 minutes. Try to imagine we have an open heart surgery and there were 3 blood orders while the reported time as follow: 10, 15, and 20 minutes. Once again, the average reported time is 15 minutes. But do you think the team who was at the stage were happy about the extra 5 minutes delay? Definitely no. For both example, if your organization having the operation excellence strategy embedded in its culture as well as the mindset of the process owners, the 3rd readings would considered as an outliers, and the process owners will carry out a corrective actions after a thorough investigation. Practical meaning of Six Sigma: number of near fatal plane crashes. If you are operating at a 99%, that means you have 6 crashes per day and your Sigma level is 3.8. But if you are operating at 99.9997%, that means you have 1 crash per year and your Sigma level is 3.4, which is definitely like nowadays in the aviation industry is more than 6 Sigma. They are 7 or 8. Number of incorrect surgical operations. If a health system is operating at 99%, that means the health system has 5,000 incorrect operations per week, and the Sigma level for the health system is 3.8. But if a health system is operating at 99.9997%, that means the health system has only 2 incorrect operations per week, and the Sigma level for the health system is 3.4. And I want you to imagine the big magnitude, especially in the health system in each countries. Number of incorrect financial transaction. If a financial institution is operating at 99%, that means the institution has 140,000 incorrect transaction per hour, and the Sigma level is 3.4. But if a financial institution is operating at 99.997%, that means the institution has only 75 incorrect transaction per hour, and the Sigma level would be 3.4. There are 2 methodologies used in Six Sigma: design for Six Sigma or DMADV, which stand for define, measure, analyze, design, verify, and the DMAIC, which stand for define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. The common used one is DMAIC, which is used with the existing processes, while the DMADV is being used in the designing stage where the real data are missing in this approach. You just try to mimic and predict similar processes if there are any in the DMAIC approach. DMADV approach. This is like a roadmap for the DMAIC activities, for the DMAIC phases and the activity. The roadmap consists of 30 steps, which also show the activities are being used through each phases as well. There are 5 levels of players in Lean Six Sigma arena: sponsor, champion, black belt or green belt, process owner, and team members. The sponsor rule actively support the implementation of Lean Six Sigma, provide necessary budget and required resources. The champion rules leads culture change, identify the priorities, improvement projects, address and remove any issues and barriers that may occur. The black belt or green belt, leader, teacher, and mentor of Lean Six Sigma project teams, delivers a solution to a business issue to the process owner. Process owner responsible for the process that is the target of a project, takes over and control the improved processes. Team members assist black or green belts with executing a project, provide process expertise, identify and collect data. Now, what's the difference between Lean and Six Sigma? Lean focus on reducing waste, which we call it non-value added activities, to increase customer values. Pull team members to the project, uses Lean principles and quality tools. While Six Sigma, it's a statistical methodology for improvement achieved through reducing variation, pushing change into the team, uses DMAIC or DMADV methodology and quality tools. So when to apply Lean Six Sigma? When the problem is linked to a business process, the process runs frequently, there is no known solution for the problem, the root cause of the problem is not known, and finally, and the most important, there are data in place. Now we came to the interesting part. I want you to stimulate your critical thinking without any technology help and try to think out of the box and solve the 2 practices in less than 2 minutes. The first practice, try to cross over all 9 dots using the 4 connected straight lines. Is it possible? Please share your answer on Twitter under hashtag 9dotspuzzle. 5 plus 5 plus 5 equal 550. Is this equation possible? Please share your answer on Twitter under hashtag 550. These are some of the recommended published articles that I would recommend you to visit, especially those of you whom they are working in the healthcare industry, where you can follow and apply the steps at your working area. At the end, I want to thank you all in joining this learning session. I hope that I was able to introduce a value-added information to your respected knowledge. Please don't forget to leave your respected feedback by visiting the link below or scanning the barcode.